Hey gang, Joyce with Skipping Calves Farms here. I'm in the garden. You can see some little holes that I'm digging. I've got the last of my really rangy, scraggly moringa. I guess I got about 20-30 plants. I want to get those into this bed. And a couple of things. I guess a week or so ago, I just butchered this big batch of oregano because it was growing over on top of my peppers. And these things of oregano that I had planted last year just exploded. And they were all looking like this. Well, as I was going down to plant the moringa, they were spreading out, and they were all spread out like this. And my sketty squash and my cantaloupe and my watermelon vines were all getting all tied up into the oregano. And I'm going, I don't really think I want oregano tasting watermelon. So I said, well, I don't want to get rid of it. Let's see what we can do to control it. So I'd recently gotten, when I bought a new hori knife, this is my old one, and I needed a few more dollars on my order to get free shipping, so I got some of this Velcro tape for tying up plants, because I had been using I don't know if you can see it, probably not, I can barely see it in my eyes, but over there with the tomatoes right there in the center, those little white hooky doos. I don't really, I had gotten some from a friend, from a neighbor a few years ago, and it was a little different design, and those were nice to work with. You could do them with one hand. These that I got, I don't really like all that well, and it seems to be bruising the plants a lot. So got this tape, and so I'm coming down here, and I'm putting in holes, and I'm putting in holes, and I'm putting in holes, and then I come to this big bushy thing of oregano. You can't smell it, but I sure can. And you can see what I've done is I took 6 or 8 inches of that tape and just wrapped it around the oregano to get it out of the way, and that'll give me the opportunity to kind of keep the vines going this way instead of going across. So I still want to be able to use and access the side of the bed itself. So it's going to help me keep my vines going and swinging around this way and swinging around that way. It's just a little detour. Almost looks like a bunch of flowers down here. But, and it is in the manner of speaking. If you look, I don't know if you can see as well as I can with my mind's eye, but there are bees and bugs all over this bunch of oregano. And what are they? There's 2 or 3 or 4 different kinds of ground bees. Now here in the South, we call them sweat bees. They're little, they're about the size of a big ant. They're not like a honeybee at all. I don't know if I can get my hand down there so you can see how my finger corresponds with size compared to some of them. Ground bees do not live in a colony. They live individually. They usually live in the ground. But when we think of pollinators, we don't think of them. But oregano has a really small bloom. And so honeybees don't pollinate oregano. The ground bees do. And so just thought I'd share that. I'm going to try something here. I had been soaking, I had some biochar. I made some WCA, which is water-soluble calcium. Put the biochar in the water-soluble calcium solution. And of course it floated. Well, about a week later, it wasn't floating anymore. It was sunk because it was saturated with the calcium water. And so I'm just putting a little bit of of WCA inoculated biochar in the holes, and I'll mix that up. And calcium is something that's deficient in my soil, so keep doing that every time I plant something, and over a period of time, guess who's just permanently increased the amount of calcium in their soil? One little round dark hole at a time. So there you have it. So we got watermelon, or as I like to say, watermelon, and there's lots of blooms. I don't see any fruit on the watermelon yet, but most of these blooms have come out after the last rain. So I think it's been a little bit cooler, unseasonably cool for this time of year, so it may be another reason why the watermelon's not starting to fruit quite so much. On the spaghetti squash has that great big yellow bloom, as you can see that there, and the big yellow bloom at the base of it, that's the spaghetti squash. And here's a little one right here. So garden's growing, lots of work to do and things to do, but I just thought I'd share that with you because it's not something you really think about very often. Is the ground bees. So with that, gang, I will wish you blessings for the day, and whatever you do, just keep chasing the dream.